Hello and welcome back to another episode. In this episode we are going to be making a CCTV camera. I found while making this I got a little bit carried away, so I'm going to start by showing you the concept and then we're going to add things as we go. So if you've got to the point where you think I've seen enough, I can make this myself, then by all means stop watching and go off and make it. But we're going to add a few bits as we go. So the first thing we're going to want to do is a summon and a kill, because we want to summon our CCTV. Summon CCTV and kill. Okay, because if you put a player into spectator, they can spectate different mobs, and a few different mobs have different ways of looking at the world, and the one I'm going to use is a creeper. Let's get this block here. Okay, so we are going to summon a creeper at those coordinates, but we're going to want to give it a load of stuff. Now, first thing I want to give it is NoAI. I do not want it exploding. I'm going to give it NoGravity, because usually CCTVs are up sort of near the ceiling, so I don't want it falling down onto the floor. I'm going to make it silent. I'm going to say it's invulnerable. I'm going to put PersistenceRequired so it doesn't despawn. 1B. I'm going to do some rotation on it so it's facing that door. Rotation would be 90F, 0F. Oops, we've missed out our semicolon there, or our colon. I'm going to give it a tag so we can target it. Tags. I'm going to give it the tag of creeperCCTV, because that's what it is. And later on we'll give it an active effect. But for now, I think that'll do. Let's check. Let's check that. Hello. How are you? You alright? Cool. Okay. Now let's kill him. We're going to execute as any entity tag equals creeperCCTV at that entity, run teleport that entity exactly where it is, but -1000. Down into the void you go. Boink. There he goes. And he's back. Right. Perfect. So, if I switch into game mode, spectator, I can now spectate any entity with the tag creeperCCTV. Now you'll see that's not working, because there might be more than one entity with that tag. So if you've got more than one camera, they're going to give them different tags, because we're going to put here limit equals 1. Bang. I'm in the creeper's head looking out through its eyes, and this is how the creeper sees the world. Then to me, it looks like a CCTV camera. So, simply done. How do we get out of here though? We can't. We're stuck. If we were in adventure mode, we'd be stuck here forever. So, game mode creative, let's get ourselves back out. So let's start making some buttons. Doink, doink, to spectate him. Right, so the first thing I'm going to do is put a little sign on, spectate CCTV. And I'm going to tag the player who is spectating. That way we can run commands at them without affecting anyone else on the server. So let's tag the nearest player. That's probably going to be the person pressing the button. And we will add, let's say, viewing cam. They're viewing the camera. So that'll give me a tag. And I'm going to need some sort of timer here. So this is going to activate the timer. Let's get that block. Fill, tab, tab, tab. Get those coordinates. we are going to set block at those coordinates, a redstone block. I can see a mistake there already. A redstone underline block. Done. Okay, so that's going to start our timer. Let's make our timer. For our timer, I am going to have repeating needs redstone, always active chain, and this one is going to be always active chain, but it's also going to be conditional. And we're going to need some objectives, so let's create objectives, and I'm going to make one called clock. Scoreboard, objectives, add, and then we just want it to be called clock will do, or timer something. It's going to be a dummy. We could give it a nice looking name. We're never going to see the nice looking name, but we can give it one anyway. Clock. Done. Okay, so now we've got our clock. Bonk. Now we've got our clock. Let's use that. So here we are going to scoreboard players, and I am going to add to a fake player. Okay, if we had lots of different cameras, you might want to call this fake player camera 1 or just camera 1 or something. I'm just going to use fake player for now, and we're going to increase his clock score by 1. Done. Oh, now, do you see the problem? That is going to replace that with a redstone block. So let's copy that and copy that. And I'm pressing Control and pressing the middle mouse button, so I get the command inside as well. Now the redstone block will go there. Let's put these back. Make this one conditional. Is the command still in? Yes, it is. Okay. So we're adding 1 to its clock. Now here, I'm going to execute if score of the fake player matches, let's say 20, so that's 1 second. Run. Okay, what have we done wrong here? If score of the fake player, well, which score? I'm going to check the clock. Matches 20 or higher. Now I'm going to set that to 21. Run. Set block. That block we had before. White wall. Place. So 35, 56, 13. Done. That's this block here. So this is going to turn into redstone. This is going to start adding 1 to the counter. When the counter gets to 21 or higher, this will become white wool. And then here, if this activates at 21, we want to reset the clock. Scoreboard, players, and we call set, fake player, clock, and we set it to 0. Done. Now if I press this, we should get a redstone block, and after a second it goes away. Perfect. Okay, so on the end of here we could add a bit more. Let's get another one of these, and let's say execute if score fake player clock matches 1, run game mode spectator for any player who has the tag viewing cam. So that should just be the person who pressed the button. Done. So that's going to set us into spectator straight away. Now let's copy that. Control middle mouse. Put it down there. And so it still equals 1. Let's go to the end, delete all of this. So execute if score fake player clock matches 1, run. We've set them in spectator. Now we want to spectate. What are we going to spectate? We are going to spectate any entity whose tag equals creeperCCTV, limit equals 1. Who is going to spectate it? Well, any player who has the tag viewing cam. Now this might have to be limit equals 1 as well. Yep. So let's change that from any player, and we'll just say the nearest player, because he's standing right there at the end. So there's a choice for you. You can say any player if you want, but make sure to put limit equals 1. I'm going to go with the nearest player for this version. Done. So we run it, we instantly get put inside his head, and we're going to get stuck there. So we're going to need a way out. So let's copy this again. Let's copy all of that in there, copy, and go to the next one. Paste. What are we going to change? Well, we're going to change the time. Execute score fake player clock matches 1. Okay, now the clock only runs to 21, so I'm going to say 20. If it gets to 20, then I am going to, we don't want to spectate, I'm going to TP the player, TP the nearest player whose tag equals viewing cam. Where am I going to TP them to? Done. I'll TP them back in front of the button. So let's TP them here. Fill. Tap, tap, tap. Let's get that. And which way are we looking when we look this way? We are looking facing east towards positive x, minus 90. Looks like minus 90, 0. Okay. So the block we just copied, minus 90, 0. Done. So they're going to be teleported. Now, if that runs, let's make this one conditional. This one will run. We better set their game mode as well. I will set them back into creative. If this is a map, you probably want to set them back into survival or adventure. At the nearest player whose tag equals viewing cam. Okay, and we probably want to then say unconditional. They're not actually viewing the camera anymore. So all players who have the tag viewing cam, remove viewing cam. Okay. So at 1 we get teleported, we get changed to spectator, then we get to spectate him, and at 1 second, so 20 ticks, we should come back out and we should end up standing here. So let's have a go. We're in, we're out. Perfect. We're in, we're out. Okay, so we can change this time pretty simply. We'll do that in a minute. First thing, let's get rid of that message. Your game mode has been updated. We don't want to keep seeing that. Game rule sendCommandFeedback false. We're in. Perfect. So let's change this time. Now, changing the time was a little bit tricky because you've got to remember which blocks you're changing the time in. So here's 21. Let's change this to 61. 20 is a second. So we are now going to be doing 3 seconds, and let's change this one to 60. So we just have to change those 2, I think. 1, 2, 3, and we should be out. Okay, let's create another objective to make changing the time a bit easier. Let's create scoreboard, objectives, add view time. It's a dummy. Let's give it a nice looking name, even though we'll never see it. View time, done. Press that. Okay, so now we've got a scoreboard objective called view time. How can we use it? Let's create another command block. set view time. Okay, get me that button there, thank you very much, put that in there. Scoreboard, players, set, and we'll use this same fake player again. We're going to his view time to 100, so that's 5 seconds. Now let's replace some commands in here. So here, this is the bit we want to change. Matches 61. So let's get this bit and let's change all of that. If fake player clock, we need to change this now to equals, if fake player clock is greater than fake player view time. Okay, so instead of matches and putting a set time, we're now saying, is it greater than fake player's view time? Done. Then we go to this one. Let's remove, let's go home so you can see the message, execute score, remove matches, and this time we're going to say if it, I suppose we want to say if it is greater than or equal to fake player view time. Done. So now let's set our view time in here. Got it set to 100, so that should be 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Done. Perfect. Now let's change the time again. Let's change it back to 1 second. Ooh, okay. Did we press the button? Set view time. 1. We didn't press the button. So now we can change the time with a command. We don't have to change anything else. We can just change it. We can just run this command from anywhere and change the viewing time. Okay, I'm going to set it to 5 seconds. So this is sort of basically done. You could have finished it without having an adjustable time, but you probably don't want one. You probably always want it to be the same, so you might not need that bit. Let's get on and stick that active effect on here because we don't want a visible creeper. Active effects. We're going to have one active effect and it will be ID 14B. It will have an amplifier. Since it's invisibility, you can have 0, what you get, any number pretty much will work. 0 will do. Duration. We're going to have a really long duration. 2, 1, 4, 7, 4, 8, 3, 6, 4, 7. That's the longest number you have. Do take note though, if you're playing in the latest versions of Minecraft, you could just put -1 there and it'll be infinite. As it is, this will last, I think it works out at 3 years. And ShowParticles is a 0B. We do not want to be seeing his particles. Done. Now, there we go. It does flash into existence. Remember, the effect always takes a little bit of time to kick in. But these are going to be sitting here before the player gets there. They'll be here when the map starts, so it's not a problem. Can we view it now? Yeah, we're looking at the doorway. I didn't press that, so it's still on a second. Let's spectate again. Come on. Nice. Okay, so we're looking at the door. Most cameras are usually a bit up in the air. So let's put him up in the air a bit. Put him up in the air by 2. There we go. Done. Summon him. Spectate. Look a bit better if all my text wasn't in the way. Great. That is a working CCTV camera that you can use. We can easily change the time. Let's add something else. I'm going to put a block there. I'm going to put a block there. I'm going to put a block there. That one is going to be chain always active. Let's get a button for you, assign. This is going to be start scanning. And this one is going to be stop scanning. I want the coordinates of that block. Fill, tab, tab, tab. Everybody's friend when making maps. And I am going to set that block to redstone. Oh, see, we've got the typing problem today. Redstone block replace. I'm going to copy that command. Copy. Cancel. I cut instead of copying. There we go, there it is. And then we'll put it in here and change this to white wall. So that changes that one. And we are going to copy that. Copy. And put it in here. And we're just going to add 2 to the Z, because I know Z is that direction. There we go. So we can start it. We can stop it. Now, let's get in here one of those. One of those, one of those. Repeating, chain, chain. This chain is going to be conditional. What are we going to do in this repeating block? Well, we are going to be changing his pitch is yaw. Basically, when you change the way he's looking. So we're going to rotate him. I am going to remove that. I'm going to set it to 1 and summon him. Right, now he's not invisible. We can see what he's doing. Let's rotate him. Which way is he looking? F3. We are looking west, -x, so 90. So we want to change a bit, maybe down to about 65 and then up to about 115. That sounds about good. Okay, so let's put in here, execute as any entity, tag equals creeperCCTV. What are we going to do to him? At himself. We're going to run. We're going to teleport himself exactly where he's already standing. But let's keep that the same as well. That's his rotation. Let's put 0.5 there. And we're not going to make him look up or down. When they've got no AI, you can't make them look up and down. So he should just keep turning. There we go. So if we spectate him now, we can't see anything because his head's in the way. That's not very good, is it? So, but you can see what would happen. We would be seeing his turning there. Let's turn this off. Next, we want to do a check on his rotation. So we're going to execute if entity. What entity? Well, you know who it is. It's the one that's tagged with creeperCCTV. But we're also going to check his Y rotation. And if his Y rotation is 115 or higher, then we will run set block. Let's say done for now because I want this block here. Fill, tab, tab, tab. Actually, let's stop this one first. So I want this block here. Fill, tab, tab, tab. We're going to set that block to white wool. So that is going to unpower this. He's going to stop moving. So let's try it. I think it'll probably just stop straight away. Yes, because he's already past that point. So let's kill him. Sorry, let's get a new one and let's start. So he's going to rotate and he's going to stop looking that way. Perfect. And let's grab the coordinates of this block. And what we're going to do here is start this one. Done. Okay, so this will become a redstone block. This one turns off, this one turns on. So I think, let's just clear my inventory. Let's copy all 3 of these blocks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's look in here. Now we just want to turn him back the other way, so that's going to be a minus. Done. Rotation is 115, so 90 minus 25, so we want probably 65 or less. We're going to stop 21. That's this one. And don't forget to make it conditional. 19. That's this one. Okay, so this should run. He gets to the point, this stops, this turns on, and vice versa. Let's kill him. Let's bring him back. There he is. Let's start the scanning. Get to there, and he turns back. Yes, perfect. We can watch this changing now as he is reaching those points. Boom. Now he's going back, and we can stop that. No point having that running if the player is not in the room. Okay, so now we know what he's doing. Let's kill him, and let's put that invisibility back on. Done. Summon, and let's try spectating him while it's scanning. Oh, that's much more like a CCTV camera. Cool, okay. Liking that. Again, you could stop now if you wanted. You may even want to, at the end of this, when someone stops scanning, turn this off as well. You don't have to. So now we have a scanning CCTV camera. Now we can add one more function to it. We could set this time really high and let people come out whenever they want by using a trigger. So I'm going to add myself 2 more command blocks. This one is going to be a scoreboard, objective, add, stop viewing, and it's going to be a trigger. Triggers can be activated by players. Done. If you enable it for them. So scoreboard, players, enable for all players, stop viewing. Done. Now it's definitely what we call it, isn't it? Stop viewing. Yeah, stop viewing. Let's enable that. Now a player now can type trigger stop. Ah, we've got 2 there. Okay, one with a capital, one without a capital. Stop viewing, we've used a capital. Stop viewing, we've used a capital. Okay, so let's scoreboard, objectives, remove. Let's remove the one without. That must be from when I was testing. Okay. So now a player can type trigger, stop viewing. Doesn't do anything yet because we haven't set it up. But what it does, objectives, set display, sidebar, stop viewing. You can see I've got 1. Now if I try and do that again, you cannot trigger this objective yet. Every time you use this objective, you have to re-enable it for the player. So we could just press that. So they can type that. Now they've got a number that they can adjust, and we can look at that number. So, command block, it's going to go there, and we are going to put a little lever on top, because you know I like to keep my my repeating command blocks on need redstone, and this will be activate, stop viewing. Okay, what command? We are going to execute as nearest player whose scores equals stop viewing equals 1 or higher Okay. Have we got a mistake in there somewhere? Yes, that should be square brackets. But we also only want it to work for someone whose tag equals viewing cam. What are we going to do? We are going to run set a block. Where are we going to set the block? We'll leave that there for now. We'll fill that in a minute. Done. I think we're gonna set the block here. Here. I dug a hole. Fill, tab, tab, tab. Let's get those coordinates. Copy. And let's put those coordinates in here. Let's turn that on. Okay, doesn't seem to be detecting me because I do have 2. But I'm not viewing cam. That's why it's not working, because I don't have the tag viewing cam. That's okay. We could give ourselves that tag. Tag, add, viewing cam, and instantly we get the redstone block. In fact, we'll keep getting it. Let's remove that tag. Stop you for now. I'm also going to put in here a little set block. Whoever is above me, white wall. Okay, so it's gonna run a bit of power through and then turn itself off straight away. Okay, in here. We will have scoreboard, players, set. Actually, first we will turn off that clock. So set block. Now I don't remember the number of that block. This one over here. We want to turn off this clock because we're overriding this. So let's get these coordinates. Okay, let's turn that off. Set block. White wall. That's no longer counting. Let's grab ourselves a chain block. So we've turned it off. We're also going to want to reset it. Scoreboard, players, set. I'm going to set. What did we call him? We called him fake player. And we're going to set his clock score. I'm going to set it to -1. So let's turn that off. And then we probably want to teleport the player. Okay, can we get that command from over here? Did we have that here? Game mode creative, tag. There it is, that teleport player, that's the bit we want. Let's take that from the end. Copy that. Let's put this over here. We're going to teleport the player. After we teleport the player, we are going to want to do their game mode, which we do here. Yep, so it's that bit. We'll copy that one as well. So that's their game mode done. Again, going into creative. You'd probably want to set this to survival or adventure. What else do we need to do? We need to stop or reset their stop viewing number. So let's execute as the nearest player whose scores equals stop viewing equals 1 or higher, and their tag equals viewing cam. What are we going to do to them? We're going to run scoreboard players at that person, set at that person their stop viewing score to 0, so that's going to set it back to 0. And then because they've used the stop, the trigger, they've used the trigger stop viewing, we're going to have to re-enable that. So scoreboard players enable, we'll just say for all players, doesn't matter. Stop viewing, so that's been re-enabled so they could use it again. And we want to remove the tag that says they're viewing the camera. P tag equals viewing cam, remove viewing cam. Done. Now that seems like quite a bit. Did we get it right? Now I'm already on 2. So I think first thing we should do is probably scoreboard players at me. Got a straight little bit of lag there. Scoreboard players at me. Stop viewing to 0. Okay, so my viewing is 0. Let's kill the CCTV and bring him back just to make sure he is there. Let's try it. What's our view time? Is 100. Can I type it quick enough? Unknown scoreboard. Ah, look. Didn't like that. Okay, let's set this a bit higher so I've got more time. 10 seconds. View the camera. Trigger. Stop viewing. Perfect. Okay. So we can sit here and wait. And then whenever we want, we can trigger stop viewing and we're out. We don't have scanning on, so let's put the scanning back on. Now we can set this to a really high time, 1000. That way the player might be looking for something and you don't want to go, all the things just about to happen, but I've kicked them out because their time ran out. So now they can watch when the thing happens. They can stop viewing and off they go. Okay, I think we're pretty much done. Yeah, we've summoned it, we've made them invisible, we can view it, we've made it so we can easily change the time, we've made it so it goes backwards and forwards, and we've made it so the player can stop viewing whenever they want. So normally I say, and that's how you make a simple so-and-so, but it's getting a little bit more complicated now, so I'm not going to say it's simple. Let's do the old remove the sidebar, set display sidebar, and we just don't specify anything, that will go. Yeah, I didn't think that was too simple, but I think it's quite nice, quite effective. What would I use it for? Probably a co-op map. Maybe you're doing a bank heist and there's a guard, and you can have one guy outside, you know, on the roof plugged into the cameras, and he's going to be telling the other guy, you know, you can go now. The guard's not there. Run now. And then when it's all done and he's finished, he triggers his stop viewing and he's out and he escapes. Okay, I think we'll leave it there. That was a bit of a long one, sorry. Oh, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.